Good morning. It is Tuesday. Hope you're having a good day. I was just thinking about things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about valley fog, which you can plainly, I'm not going to point at it. I'm not even going to make I'm going to go, you know where the valley fog is. Check it out. And you can find the cirrus clouds too. I'm not going to point to that either. You can find that those are the cirrus clouds are the ones that move free from the, essentially in a friction-free environment because they're up higher. And that's an indication of weather offshore. The fog is an indication of extreme stability in our zone. So we're definitely under a high pressure area. We're going to talk about the surf. It's come up quite a bit. We're going to go to the mountains, look at snow. Road travel is good. This can be awesome. I should be skiing this week. I'm not a huge skier, but I am, but I'm not, but I am, but I'm not. I mean, it's sort of like, it's a commitment, man. It's a financial commitment. It's a time commitment, and it's awesome. But it's like, wow, it takes some time. And then we'll go check out the water and see how it looks. And then we'll go up to the mountains as well. So I was going to talk about something. I was just thinking about this earlier, and I'll get to weather in a minute. Because today's kind of weather light. Let's get right to the forecast. Dry, fog, surf. That's it. Right? That's all the way through Friday. And then Saturday we got a chance of showers. And then on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that Christmas week, we're kind of getting into some weather. So we'll look at that too, if you can bear with me on this. But I was thinking the other day, I was actually thinking just now, but I always think about it. But in the water, it's funny with the surfing. So we used to, in the day, the Santa Cruz guys, this is Mavericks right now, trying to break. The Santa Cruz guys didn't like the San Francisco guys. The San Francisco guys didn't like the Marin guys. The Half Moon Bay guys didn't like the Pacifica guys. The Pacifica, it was so awesome. It was like this tribe and I'll say it was men. There was a few women, but very few. And we were dicks. I mean, I got into beef every time I went in the ocean. And it's like when you go to the, and you guys, I know a lot of you guys surf, but you guys will go, this is Ocean Beach today. But I was just thinking about it, because right now, we all kind of lament the crowds that are in, surfing is ridiculous's impacted right now. Ridiculously impacted. That's why you're hearing about all the injuries and people because there's so many people in the water. I mean, it's a sheer numbers thing. But we didn't talk to each other. And in recent years, women have come in. I was watching Mavericks, right? I think I get the Mavericks camera up again. But I was looking at the picture, yeah, those are all the dudes. And I'm like, no, they're not. There's some women out there right now. There's only 7 people out. Sometimes I'll be in the water, there'll be half the water will be women, which is awesome because they've changed the texture. So like a good friend of mine down in Santa Cruz is Frosty. If you watch Chasing Mavericks, you know who Frosty is. He was the guy who taught Jay how to surf Mavericks. And Frosty's a nut, man. He was kind of a dick. He'll tell you that. When he was young, we used to beef all the time. Like, come on, let's get out of the water and go. And there was like 10 of us in the water, and it could have handled, now that same water handles 1,000 people. But it's just fascinating to me. Now we're all old raisins. My daughter calls old people raisins, which I think is kind of funny. So we're all like raisins, and we're out there talking. There's not that many of us left, really. It's 60, I'm 66. Frosty's probably 69, 68. Hope I'm not burning you on that, Frosty. And then there's a whole bunch of Bob Pearson, a bunch of Santa Cruz guys, and there's Billy Bergeson up here in San Francisco, and there's Jeff Clark down in Half Moon Bay, and then there was Dirk Denny up in Marin County. I mean, there was all these. We hated each other, and we loved each other. It was weird, but now we all talk about how I would paddle out every time I paddle out, and I'm not a dick. I don't think I am, but well, some would say I am in the water, but. Literally people you would get into beef. It was rare. Like if I go to the lane to surf first beat, I'd have a beef with somebody. And even if, like, let's say, as you look at the surf, I'm going off. I already gave the forecast. We're going to do the whole thing coming up. But you literally, if you paddled inside of me, or if I'm paddling and I'm sitting kind of on the way out, and you paddle inside of me, and you're gonna paddle, that's a dominant move, and that would cause beef. If you turn to go for a wave and you're not on the peak, and you still paddle for it, and you don't respect that I'm paddling for it, there's gonna be beef. I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, if you don't surf, you don't get it. But if you surf, you get it. And now it's kind of fun because, and I'm saying this as an old grizzled guy, the women, I think it's the women and the new kids, everybody's so nice. Like, we didn't have conversations. I didn't talk to Frosty for 30 years. Now we talk all the time. We didn't talk because it was sort of like this weird, like, you know, if you ever go to Seal Rock or at Santa Cruz or the rock off the lane where the seals, how they bark at each other, or at the pier at Santa Cruz, or anywhere where there's seals, we acted just like them. It would be good, then and then good, and it was just nonstop. It was kind of awesome, and it was kind of weird all at the same time. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I was just thinking about it. Okay, so now we're going to look at the satellite, and then there's the valley fog. So I know I just shifted gears real fast. So there's the valley fog. Interesting footprints. I think that's offshore flow, right? That's cutting out the little bit of coastal fog, and then you see the valley fog. You see the offshore flow cutting the coastal fog away, but then the offshore flow is bringing the valley fog out through the gate. And by the way, valley fog, when it shows up in the bay, which it has this morning, it is the most dangerous for maritime. So even the ferry boats on the bay, it's because you can't see, right? Think about traditional fog, coastal fog. Usually it doesn't get pea soupy. It can, but not very often. The valley fog is that tight inversion when you can barely see. And you know who I'm talking to, and you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so enough valley fog. Let's look at it from afar. This is Mount Tamalpais. This is one of my favorite shots. This is the fog going out the gate this morning. Get right, the offshore wind. And then you'll see kind of reverses direction. Like, what is that? Isn't that awesome? And then you see the high cirrus clouds overhead, right? Moving friction free. You see Montera Point down here. That's down at Pacifica, which basically has no fog. It's protected from the fog. Isn't that an awesome shot? Let's do it again. I can already tell it's going to be one of those days. I'm going to try to not go too long, you guys. But look at this. Isn't that awesome? And that's a shallow inversion because TAM's up, 23? Can't remember TAM exactly. 25.37, something like that. Over 2,000 feet. And you're looking down, that inversion can't be more than 1,000 feet deep. We could check it on the profiler. If you want to check the depth of the inversion, go to the Fort Ord click on the profiler that I have on my pages. And then this is right now, but this is like at 11:30. This is Lafayette. So you saw we were above the fog. Now we're in the fog in Lafayette. And it's starting to clear. Earlier, truthfully, Lafayette was super impacted. This is Alpine Meadows. Yeah, buddy. Look at that. Kind of warm up there if the ground's that wet, isn't it? Sun's out above the inversion, so it's warm. And probably an awesome ski day. So I think we have one. I think I have the, no, I wanted this one. No, I wanted this one. That's what I wanted, the Siberia camera up on Palisades. Isn't that beautiful? I do love skiing. Skiing is awesome. We'll get into skiing sometime too, because, there we go, Mount Shasta. There's Black Butte, the little cinder cone, and then Mount Shasta back here. This camera moves around a lot. This is the Highway 5 going up through Weed and Ukiah. I can already tell when I'm an old man. There, it moved. When I'm an old man, well, I am an old man, but as I get when I get super older, I'm gonna be on these cameras like nobody. If I can't, like my dad, he's in a wheelchair, I'm gonna be super on these cameras. Because you just go, yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I've been there. Oh, look at that. There's a bird. I mean, you can it's kind of cool. I mean, that you can go anywhere you want in the world on one of these cameras. Okay, so just did a bunch of blah, but it was awesome. I like the surf talk only because I think a lot of you get it because you've been around, but the kids are like, what do you mean? You guys were mean to each other? I'm like, yeah, we were really mean to each other. I can remember being at the Seal Rock at Kelly's Cove in San Francisco 30 years ago. And back in those, I haven't seen this in a while, but the seals used to mate out there in the spring, I believe it is. The big ones, the sea lions, not the seals. Big ones. You know how big they are? And we'd be surfing, and somebody's kid had come out. And the seals, the alpha male seals, were they were horny. And they would chase. I saw this multiple times. They would take the smallest one of us and chase them, like aggressively with teeth bared. And the poor kids would be paddling. We'd be like laughing and joking. Really, today that'd be the lead story in the news, right? Seal attacks surfer. We would just we'd root the seal on, actually. It was hilarious. It was just such a different time. I do miss it, but I also realize that the world, you can't roll like that. It just doesn't work. And kids now are so nice. All the kids are, the kids don't, the old guys still kind of growl at each other. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go backwards. This is this just shows moisture in the atmosphere. I'm going to put a circle around San Francisco, Bay Area. And this would be like an atmospheric river. There's an atmospheric river, small one, coming in. And then I wanted to point out in our area, right about here, this is around Christmas. See that line right there? That's essentially an AR, right? Or, tropical, Pineapple Express, some tropical moisture tap, what you call what you want. But anyway, that's right around Christmas. And you can kind of see it kind of loads up pretty good, doesn't it? So that looks like a wet period right around Christmas. And then that's a big one there. And that looks like, when is that? I should check that out. That is December 27th. So yeah, that holiday week, right? That's a good one. That's a good one. So we'll see. So that's the atmosphere. That just shows you what water is available. Let me move this out of the way. I have to move this up. We're going to back this up a little bit. Okay, so now, I see what I can do. Okay, hang on. I'm going to put a circle around here. Not as organized as I like to be. Okay, and then this is the basically rainfall. And we're getting all the way. Here it comes. Oh, nothing. And then that is right around. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to keep going. Saturday the 21st. Okay, I like that. And then there you go into that's that week, right? And then there's what is that? That is the 24th. So it really does, that whole week, especially around the 24th, 25th, that probably is the AR right there. So I just messed that up. Okay. All right. So wait, you see, I don't buy all that, but you see a really active pattern. It's an active pattern. So that's going to be wet, probably starting on the 21st. It starts on Saturday. We get a little bit of wet in here on Saturday and breaks up the inversion. But then we go into sort of a zonal flow, which just means the jet stream is kind of coming from west to east. And you can kind of pick that up. Let's see if I can find that right here. This is the jet stream. I'll show you. See, that's kind of a zonal flow. See that blue line, right? So that's what we're looking at for the holiday week. Starting this Saturday, we're going to be, doesn't mean it's going to be massive flooding, blah, blah, blah. Probably not, but it does mean it's going to be a wet period. Okay, dude, thanks for bearing with that. That was awesome. I feel better, like I should pay you guys for some therapy or something. Okay, have a great time. I'll see you back here tomorrow.